78 and 47 run with the complimentary plays here on the video report. The plays I'm giving away over the past 64 days. I'm going to give you a free play on the Minnesota-San Francisco game tonight, the late Monday nighter. And also in baseball, take a look at the Tigers-Twins contest. Both of those coming up in just a moment, plus a rundown of who's hot and who's not. But first, listen, during the preseason, I always get a chuckle when I hear various coaches and organizations talk about making sure players are protected during the meaningless preseason games. The games that they charge you full price to go see if you happen to be a season ticket holder, but that's beside the point. I digress. No, these are the guys, that constantly are saying, well, we're going to rest them in the preseason, no need for them to get hurt, blah, 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 blah. And I'm always amused because what are they, psychics? Seriously? It's like when I always say I'm a handicapper. I'm not a psychic because I can't forecast injuries and I can't forecast turnovers. But these guys, the NFL personnel, they are. Because to me, it makes no sense. Did Dez Bryant sitting out the entire preseason preclude him from breaking his foot last night and now going to be missing 4 to 6 weeks? Terrell Suggs, the heart and soul of the Baltimore defense, torn knee ligament yesterday, out for the season. Did it make a difference whether he played in the preseason, he rested in the preseason, or that he did it in week number 1 or week number 12? Does it matter? Again, you can't forecast injuries. Andre Ellington goes down for St. Louis. Deshaun Jackson hardly plays yesterday for the Redskins. Antonio Cromartie leads the game for the Jets and is going to have his knee looked at today. Again, you can't forecast injuries. You can't forecast them as a handicapper. You can't forecast them as a coach or a personnel man either. But I understand where they're coming from because, listen, the reality is you play one of those guys in week number 2, week number 3 in a meaningless preseason game and gets hurt. Well, holy hell is going to be rained down on you. They get hurt in the first week of the regular season. Well, that's different. It was a game that counted. Before we get going here, listen, I just got done taking a look at all your games yesterday and reviewing them, reading what the beat writers had to say, looking at the box scores, etc. And just a couple of little tidbits. Let's take a whirl around the NFL. I think I'll do this every single Monday. Lovie Smith decided to take over the defensive play calling responsibilities for Tampa Bay yesterday. Again this season. What happens? They give up 42 points. Tennessee didn't score more than 28 points in any game last season. They got 42 yesterday. Now, of course, Marcus Mariota certainly had a nice game. In case he happened to be on Jeopardy, he became only the second NFL quarterback to overthrow 4 touchdown passes in his first game. Quick, who was the first one? And the only other one? Should we cue up the Jeopardy music? Fran Tarkenton, September 17th, 1961. And Mariota also took it one step further. First quarterback ever in his first game to throw 4 touchdown passes in the first half. By the way, I'm looking at his performance yesterday. And, of course, the Eagles were Eagles fans were just like drooling at the mouth, salivating over the opportunity that Chip Kelly would trade 17 future first-round draft picks in order to try to get his former Oregon quarterback. When you look at what Mariota did yesterday, and then when you look what Nick Foles did, who was the Eagles quarterback the past couple of years for Chip Kelly, as he went 18 for 27, 297 yards and a touchdown and leading St. Louis to the overtime upset of Seattle. Boy, oh boy, if Sam Bradford doesn't play well tonight, there'll be holy hell being rained down on Chip Kelly this evening as well in Philadelphia. Speaking of Foles and speaking of the Rams game against Seattle, what is it with Pete Carroll? Let's not go back to the Super Bowl, but what are you doing on the road going for the surprise onside kick? And then after the game saying it wasn't the right type of kick, it was supposed to be a pooch kick. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. But what are you doing going with an onside kick? Because clearly in the first 3 quarters of that game, your team couldn't get anything done offensively because your quarterback, Russell Wilson, was sacked 6 times in that game. So you figure, okay, you go for the onside kick and hopefully your defense will be able to hold St. Louis to just a field goal, worst case scenario, which is how it turned out. Because remember, in overtime, if the Rams had gone down and scored on that initial drive, you score a touchdown, that's it, it's over. The opponent doesn't get a second chance. Well, as it turns out, Rams go down. As I said, they kick the field goal, they win the game. But how about the Seattle Brain Trust as Cam Chancellor sitting out there getting a chuckle, still having his holdout, and his replacement, Dion Bailey, in his first NFL game? He's the guy that stumbled with 53 seconds to play when Foles hit Lance Kendricks for that 37-yard touchdown pass. I mean, Kendricks is standing out there and he's wide open. He's waiting for the ball, and it's like a floater from Foles. And I'm thinking to myself, catch the damn ball. Don't wait. I mean, you're just waiting there and waiting for this guy to make the catch. But he goes in, he gets it, and again, Rams pull off the upset. Some of the other teams, Blake Bortles, he has now thrown 5 pick sixes in 14 starts. He was plagued by interceptions last year, but he had a great preseason. Didn't show that well yesterday against Carolina, 22 for 40, 183 yards. Yes, he had a touchdown, 2 more interceptions, one of them a pick 6. I think the worst performance by a team yesterday, well, that honor could be shared by both the Colts and the Cleveland Browns. Browns yesterday, 12 penalties, 109 yards, 5 turnovers in the loss to the Jets. Colts first half, oh, baby, we got Andre Johnson, we got Frank Gore, we got a revamped offensive line. We've given Andrew Luck all he needs to really make this offense explode. First half, you get 9 first downs and 148 total yards at Buffalo. Bills now 7-1 in home openers the past 8 years, covering 6 of those games. How about New Orleans? Rob Ryan. How is he a defensive coordinator? How is this guy still a defensive coordinator in the NFL? Damned if I know. I mean, it must be the last name, right? So anyway, New Orleans was going to rebuild their defense. People said, hey, it was the preseason. Yes, they went 0-4 in the preseason, and the team allowed 121 points, but it wasn't the first teamers. So yesterday, the Saints first teamers, they go out and allow Arizona to score 31 on them. Maybe the preseason was a precursor to what awaits Saints fans this season. Carson Palmer, 3 touchdown passes yesterday. You know, they being the Cardinals, are now 14-2 in Palmer's last 16 starts. Arizona 14-3 straight up at home over the past 3 years, going 8-2-1 against the spread as a chalk in that stretch. Meanwhile, the Saints 5-14-1 against the spread in their last 20 regular season road games. 4-9-1 as a regular season dog dating back to the 2011 season. Cowboys game last night. Listen, Matt Rivers was one of the handicappers here that had the Cowboys last night. If the Cowboys simply stopped turning the damn ball over, you know, they probably could have covered the damn spread last night. But how ironic that Anthony Redd, on the other hand, benefited, because when Tony Romo picks up that ball off the turf, throws the 11-yard touchdown pass to Jason Witten to give the Cowboys the win with 7 seconds to go, everybody that had the over, you're very happy. Because for the 6th consecutive time in that series, the game went over between the Giants and the Cowboys. Everybody on the under, I've been there. My sympathies. I know exactly how you feel. 7 seconds to go. The team throws the touchdown pass on the ball that's on the ground and your quarterback picks it up. Yeah, like I said, I know the pain that you are suffering in that particular contest. And then how about Peyton Manning? Now, listen, I had a 15-dime play yesterday, which is my top-rated normal play in the NFL on the Broncos. It's okay to win a game for the wrong reasons, because that game did not turn out the way I had forecasted. It turned into quite a defensive battle. But, you know, the Broncos went out, they revamped their offensive line, and it allowed 4 sacks yesterday. Biggest choke job yesterday, no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it made the Tennessee Volunteers choke job against Oklahoma look minor league. There are the Lions up 21-3 midway through the second quarter in San Diego. They're getting 3.5 to 4 points. Chargers, 30 straight points to get the cover. Kirk Cousins, well, you know, you get what you pay for sometimes. Kirk Cousins, 2-8 now as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Yesterday, yes, 21 of 31, 196 yards. And, oh, by the way, another 2 interceptions for Cousins. The Skins blowing that 10-0 lead at home. You know, the Skins outgained the Dolphins in that game, 349 to 256. And their time of possession in that game, almost 38 minutes. But 2 interceptions, the turnovers hurt them, the special teams returned by the Dolphins. Game, set, and match. Miami gets the easy comb, a road win and cover. Then you look at the Chiefs game against Houston. Yes, you see a 27-20 final, but in reality, it was 27-6 before Ryan Mallett came on in garbage time. How about the Chiefs yesterday? 5 sacks of the Houston quarterbacks. Andy Reid now 41-22 against the spread as a dog during his career. So just a couple of the figures that I came across yesterday in reviewing the NFL. And listen, that's an important thing, because if you're a gambler, if you're a handicapper, which I'm both, you know, you got to look at yesterday before you can forecast tomorrow. And it's so important they really take a look at every single game, every single box score. which I realize you don't have time to do, but this is what I do 24/7, 365 days a year. Hey, your big promo today, the half-price play of the day, Shawn Michaels, the winningest handicapper here at the site over the past 5+ seasons, making $10 bettors a little over $31,000 today. First 100-dime max wager of the NFL. It's his opening Monday night KO lock on your Philadelphia-Atlanta side. 59, 31, and 3 with NFL 100-dimers over the past 6 seasons. Last one, that little game involving the Patriots when he had New England against Seattle. Thank you, Pete Carroll, for that win. I'm sure Shawn was very appreciative. Twice as strong as his 59 winner on the Patriots when he bought down the hook and insurance on Thursday night. And it's the half-price play of the day simply by using coupon code SEAN, S-E-A-N. All your other discounts, all your other promos, etc., over on the homepage, including another 100-dime max wager winner from Steve Budin's New York crew, this one in baseball, and props going out to his Cali Cartel crew yesterday. Easy 50-dime winner. I think it was 21 out of 29. They were his number 1 NFL and college football service last year. Number 21 out of 29, they cashed in with Arizona. As I said, all your other discounts, all your other promos are over on the homepage. Go forth, save money. Because remember, you do not have to spend big money to make big money. I tell you the good, I got to tell you the bad. Yesterday, unfortunately, Brad Wilton, who had hit a 150-dime play in baseball on last Wednesday with the White Sox, 150-dime play with Kansas State Saturday in college football. He was going for another one yesterday, number 7 out of 8 in his career, I think it was. Unfortunately, the wrong side of the Bills-Colts game for him. And Craig Davis wasn't even close with his 100-dime play on the Raiders. What a bad call that one was. I mean, listen, and I'm not bashing Craig, absolutely not, because his record with 100-dime releases in the NFL is still pretty damn impressive. But the Raiders, oh my God, they sucked yesterday. Ain't nothing new. You can change the coach, you can do everything, but when the silver and black takes the field, only bad things seemingly happen. So let's take a look at this game between Minnesota and San Francisco tonight. Listen, the Vikings, you got Teddy Bridgewater, second season as a starting quarterback, coming off another strong preseason from Mike Zimmer. Big news, of course, you got Adrian Peterson seeing his first game action in well over a year. That should be enough, I think, to get the job done at San Francisco tonight against a team that has Colin Kaepernick, a couple of good wide receivers, and a bunch of question marks, especially defensively. But why risk playing the side? Why not simply take this game to stay under the total? I mean, when you look at this game tonight, do you think it's anything different than maybe 14-13, 17-14, 21-17? I don't think so. I just don't see this being a high-scoring game because that's not the MO of the Minnesota offense. And this Minnesota defense is pretty damn good. And you're looking at a line here, in terms of the total, of 41.5 to 42 points. Again, I just don't see more than 37, 38 points being scored in this game. So the way I would play the contest is to go under. Because the Vikings are going to come out here. You got Adrian Peterson. He's been on the shelf for a long time. I think he's going to get 25 carries here tonight. And the more he runs, the more the clock runs. And I just think it's a great place to take the under in this spot. The other complimentary play, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Twins as the home favorite tonight against Detroit. I'm not exactly enthralled with the Minnesota rookie pitcher, Tyler Duffy, here. Yes, he's 2-0 with a 2.67 earned run average in his last 5 starts, but the worst start there was his last home start, which is against the White Sox. They only lasted 4 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, and walked 3 batters. But this is more of a play going against Detroit's Kyle Lobstein, who the team's lost his last 5 starts. This is just his 3rd start back since missing 3 months because of a shoulder injury. In those first 2 starts, he's given up 11 runs and 15 hits in just 10 innings. 0-2 in 2 career starts against the Twinkies. Earned run average over 15 in them. Twins come back home after a 5-4 road trip to open up a 10-game homestand. They're only 1 game behind the Rangers, who are hosting Houston tonight at a big AL West showdown for the second and final wild card spot in the junior circuit. They've won 6 of their last 8 at home. Meanwhile, the Tigers, well, what can I tell you? The Tigers, they were lucky to snap a 4-game losing streak yesterday with a win in the second game of a twin bill with the Indians. They've lost 8 of their last 10 on the road. And again, this is all about going against the Tigers pitcher tonight. So I'm going to go with Minnesota Twins and I just thought about that, the other game involving Minnesota as well. I'm going to go with the 49ers and the Vikings to stay under the total for your other complimentary play. That'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.